Nope, it's fine.
Okay.
Yes. What are these girls' names?
Ella and Kenzie.
They're so good. They're so good. Good. How'd they do yesterday at the end?
They lost in quarters.
Which girls did they play in the quarters?
Fan and somebody else. I had my phone. I can look it up.
Were they two Asian girls?
One.
One. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know who won the whole thing?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we lost to a very good team.
Yeah.
It was. But you were there, right? Oh no.
No, I didn't see the last
so
one.
the game after that was very competitive. They only lost by 3 points.
Wow. Nice.
But the team they played was I want to say AA level, very good, very good. And they weren't tall. They knew how to
cover the floor.
Yeah.
It was the same. Like I heard them talking beforehand. They were like, okay, these girls can hit down better than we can,
Right.
so we have to play smart. And they just did. They just were experienced. Like
Yeah.
it was back and forth. I think we were up like 3, and then it was like I think they got to 12 all and traded points, and it was ultimately 21-19.
Right. I was glad the girls went out and they played against teams that they knew were really good. And I told them, I'm like, I find it hard pressed you're going to find a better team in your division today. Here.
Yeah.
So if you play to that level, and they have an issue of playing down to their competition.
Sure.
They turn it up against the better teams. You know, and
that's
hopefully
a skill.
they'll do well today. You know.
I mean, it's interesting.
Yeah. These are all Husky teams too.
Right.
So
I know Allie. She goes to our school.
Yep. The other one goes to Bristol Eastern, and then Lani goes to Ram, and Lily goes to Connor. So good representation in the CCC here. And,
exactly.
Right. In the prep school area.
CCC. Good. It's interesting watching like the mental evolution of players.
Right.
Like Strong, like that thing about playing down to the level. That thing about like just being able to wipe points out of their mind. Not carry points forward. And it's really like 17s, 18s before some of that stuff finally clicks for a lot of them. and it's just fun to watch.
What I don't understand now is that we have 4 pools, and they told us that we're going to play, ones are going to play 2s in the next round, like in the playoffs. But how do they choose which 1s and 2s? Does the pool 1 play against the pool 4?
Right.
And does 3 play against 2?
So it must be,
we played tournaments that way before, or is it total point differential then?
Right. Yeah. I assume that they rank everybody.
I'll say it.
Right.
And then they have a, algorithm that they stick it into.
Right. Because Kira Sullivan and Jill Plow are going to have their hands full against the #1 overall, which is this team behind us right here.
Okay.
This team over here. They play a lot from South County, and they're good. Yeah. But they came out here just steamrolling their team. I saw them a little while ago, and I'm like, wow, they're good.
Well, and they have, in South County, they get a lot of touches. They're in beach. They've got
a big grass. They have a big grass following tournament, and thing over there.
Yeah. Oh, nice touch.
Are your girls too old to play 18 now, or no?
No, they just decided to. They wanted to do the co-ed.
Right.
Yeah. So. And yesterday, it's a lot playing a full day, so I think it's sort of like hard day and then fun day. And if they were in 18, they would expect to win it.
Right.
Be hard on yourself.
Yes. But you never know either, because Lily and there was a girl named Lauren who played Sandbox AA Memorial Day weekend, I think it was. Or one of those weekends.
Is that Lauren from South County?
Lauren from our Husky. She goes to prep school up north. It's near Enfield, not Enfield, near Stores. Marionappolis. Marionappolis, yeah. Okay. So she played with Lily, and Lily and her went through the whole, pool play and split a few times, and then they figured out the winner.
Okay.
And then they came back and beat 3 teams in playoffs and won the whole thing AA over there. But it all depends on who's there that day.
Yeah. But that's still
But beating all the regulars, the Sandbox regulars, And the ladies were just like, can we take your time out? Because they're all gassed.
Yeah, right. Right, yeah, if you have those late day legs and you're willing to keep fighting, that's awesome.
But that was a big win for them, and then Brendan and John down there are like, no, Dan, we're not expecting them to play open next week.
That's a relief.
So now they look really good on paper.
Right. No, but that's cool too. Learning to win, learning to play it like, the second after you break pool, a lot of it's mental. Some legs and some mental, and having that we know how to win, we've been the winners.
Or playing against a team you just lost and you're like, we know what they do now.
Yeah. That's great. And they're rising juniors, right?
Sophomores.
Sophomores. That's awesome.
So they've got time.
Yeah.
And Lily's played a long time now. This is like, she went through her 4th year of club already.
Okay.
So this is Lily's, Lani's still new. Hers is like 2 years at HP. Lily's been 4 years at HP.
Okay.
So, and this is Lani's first year playing doubles too.
Right.
So.
Well, and the doubles is like a season. It's great.
Right.
Especially if you can get some coaching, but even just the touches and the experience. And if it sounds like they're smart players, they're learning from playing.
Right. I wish we did it sooner. It's just that the first year when Riptide opened, Lily had sprained her ankle, and we decided just to play golf that year instead of do the volleyball thing, And she's since hung up the clubs, But still good enough to be the #1 in Connor. Still good enough to go head to head with the #1, with the state team over at Hall this past year. They won the championship this year. Hall
Oh, that's awesome.
But they won the double L's. But Lily, because they're our arch rivals.
Yeah.
She went head to head with the Hall girls, and she medaled that day. She was tied with the other #1 there.
Yep.
And all those girls are top. They're top 5, top 4 are top 11 in the state.
And they're doing it all the time.
Lily stopped practicing 2 years ago just to concentrate on volleyball, and she knows if she wanted to go further, golf would be the way to go. But she loves it.
Yeah.
That's how it is with dual sport kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like she has a better,
pathway or whatever.
Exactly, to make it in a different sport. But she's like, but she knows.
Yeah.
Neither sport is going to go beyond college.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Well, you play volleyball into your 40s or 50s,
Right.
and then you go back to golf. That's perfect.
Yeah, we did a lot of tournaments when she was younger. I started at 6, and a lot of instruction, just like tennis and squash as well. And she was there. She won the New England Junior PGA at like 11 for 13 and under, and she was on that. But then there were other kids that were homeschooled and played in Florida during the winter time.
Right.
There's a big difference,
you
know?
Yep. No, totally.
And she comes here. We take some lessons, and with like the local pros that are big in the area. And what I realized over the years is that there's no right or wrong swing. You're having this guy tell you this is how you should do it, but it doesn't work for you.
Yep.
You know, so it's like she's just like, I'm all set with that.
Yeah.
It killed me at first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know what? This is their life. This is what they love to do.
Right.
You know, we're just here to help them along.
That's it. That's it. It's so interesting, all of that. I mean, but even just the multi-sport thing helps them so much.
Right.
And golf, obviously, any sort of solo sport, to bring a solo sport mentality to a team sport, I think it's just great. Because what it's like, where it's all up to you.
Right.
And that's not, freak out about that.
When she was 6 or 7, very introverted, just like any kid would be at that age, Started playing golf before volleyball, and you're spending 5 hours with other kids you don't know. You have to talk about something.
Yeah.
So then we go to like the first I think it was like a 15, 16-year tryout, and she was 11, 10, 10, And I'm standing next to her talking to her, and when she's gone, I'm like, where is she? She's already talking to all the freshmen. He's just like, I'm like, do you know them? She's like, no. I just said, hey, I'm Lily, So that was the one good thing about golf, you know? It's amazing to see. It's amazing to see how they, how they change.
Yeah. Grow into themselves.
Yeah. And I always keep telling her too. I'm like, you know what? You're a good athlete, but you're a much smarter girl than you are athletic. In the end, that's what really matters.
Right. I know. Right. You hate to sort of commodify it, but it's like, this is for joy and release, and maybe to help you get into college. And
but I'm glad she's realized it a few years ago, because talking to all of our coaches and everything over the years, and they tell us the realistic, pathway for New England kids, at least, for the majority of them. I think what the most accomplished is from Husky is not even a kid that grew up here, right?
Right.
The Vandermark kid, right?
Right. Yeah. Ooh. Triple defense.
No, it's fine. No big deal. No big deal.
Oh, that's a danger, huh? Jeez. Yeah, right. I mean, that's the funny thing with squash, right? Like, New England is definitely one of the hottest spots. You see the very, very best players.
But it's an even playing court, though, right? It's essentially, right? It's squash, like against other states or parts of the country, right? Like they can all play indoors, right? Just like easily, right?
Right. But in terms of, it makes a difference the quality of competition around you. Right.
It's like hockey up here.
Yeah, that's right. So you've got New England, you've got a little bit in like Toronto. Yeah, like Delaware, Philadelphia. There are a couple of pockets. I mean, basically, it's a small number sport. Like, total numbers playing is tiny compared to.
Is squash the type of sport where you would say a lot of like high-level tennis players end up later on doing after their tennis days are essentially?
I don't think so.
Over?
I don't think so. I think it's a thing that. Yeah, that's gonna be out. People basically. Most people start out young, and same thing, like probably one of their parents played, or somebody has done the math about, college, and they get coaching, and they go to tournaments, and they just build it up that way, and then, most of it happens at the prep schools, and it's, even to have courts, they're just lots of parts of the country where they're like, squash, okay, that's racquetball, you mean, right? Like it, but not exactly.
The only reason why I ask is because when Lily did play tennis and she was taking lessons up in the Massachusetts area, and I can't even remember her name, but she was one of the most well-decorated junior tennis players in New England, maybe a good 10 years ago, 15 years ago.
Yep.
And she made it. She got as high as 100, 115 in the world.
Yep.
And her dad, who worked for Staples, quit his job, went down to Florida and trained her full time.
Yeah.
And she went far, and then by the time she was college age, she didn't take the college scholarships because she was a pro. You know what I mean? She burnt out and she was done.
Right.
And moved back to Massachusetts area, works at a racket club. I've never seen her hit that way before.
That's a gorgeous story.
She ended up being an instructor at a country club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I talked to Lily about things like that.
Yeah.
Like this is a girl who actually